Hello and welcome to our podcast again that we're doing. So, we're actually both in the same room. It's gonna make this 9 times easier.
Hello, fellow snow runners
And random people.
and random people. Ace of the Round Table here, along with Pink Shirt Guy. Welcome back
to another episode of this, one where I don't have to edit the videos or voice logs together.
Yeah, this should be a lot easier.
Yes, it is. So, today I was thinking, why not start with the two biggest trucks that everybody kind of likes to talk about, other than like the AOZ, the Taiga and the ANK, since American and Russian one. So, which one's better? Which ones do we like better?
That's a good subject.
Exactly.
It's a very good subject.
Early game, the ANK is a lot better than the Taiga, but late game, I think the Taiga's better.
I do not use the Taiga ever.
It's because you just don't use Russian trucks.
I don't use Russian trucks. I'm a red-blooded American, and there's American trucks in the game. I use the American trucks. I've said it before. My favorite truck in the game is the GMC. I love the ANK. The problem I have with the ANK is
it's fast.
I like to go fast. I like to go fast. I put the biggest engine in it. I get the tuned custom suspension and put the biggest tires on it. And I just drive it and flip it over.
That's because you don't put the mud tires on it, too. That's a part of the problem.
Well, I don't like those balloon Taiga mud tires. I don't like them. I like the UAD2, I think, is what they are. It's the
off-road tires
off-road
that should
tires.
be mud tires.
Off-road
they look like tractor shred.
Yeah, they really should be classified as mud tires, but in the game they're off-road tires, and I put those on every truck just because I like the way they look.
Yeah, with some of the off-road tires, they should be all-terrain tires.
Yeah, true. The UAD2s are really good tires, and they work really good on the ANK.
I mean, just off-road tires, I already know they work fine.
Well, yeah.
Both, though.
Well, yeah, you play a lot with just all-terrain tires. I play a lot with just the highway tires. And I'm actually going to start...
Well, you're starting to go all highway tires because of hard mode.
Yeah, in the hard mode, I'm going to start a series of videos just using the highway tires to complete Michigan.
I'm probably going to be in it.
Probably, yeah.
Well...
So, we need to get back to ANK
Taiga and
versus
the ANK.
Taiga.
Now, the Taiga has like 300 liters or more of fuel, but it burns through it a little bit faster than the ANK does. The ANK has 200 liters. Neither one's realistic, but we talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
Early game, the Taiga is not the best truck because it's low to the ground. And, well, you can get all-terrain tires for it very easily, and I say you're fine if you have those in any map. Then again, I'm insane.
Well, that's true. That's true, but then I'm doing as much as I can with highway tires, so...
Well, another thing is power. That's very hard to tell because we don't know how much torque both trucks have, and we don't really know how much either truck classifies how much they weigh, so it's kind of hard to tell for that one. That's
true, yeah. The power to weight ratio is kind of hard to discern. I mean, they have that little graph on there, but that just...
And if you don't know what torque is, that's how much your wheels will spin, not just how fast they'll spin, which is horsepower.
Yeah, torque...
Simple. Go ahead.
The difference between horsepower and torque. Horsepower is great for high-speed race cars, but for trucks, torque is more important. Torque is actually what does the work. The more torque you have, the more work you can do.
The best way to explain this is take a drag race. At the start of the drag race, you're relying on torque. At about the middle of it, you're relying on horsepower. That's a good way to explain it.
Yeah, true. The torque gets your vehicle moving, but once you get it moving, then the horsepower has more influence on it, and that's what creates your high speed.
Now, one thing that's good for the ANK that's better than the Taiga is you really don't have to upgrade the ANK that much.
The only thing you really have to do with the ANK is put dual tires on it, because the single tires that it come with, they're excellent tires, but they're narrow and it makes them A&K more tippy. So if you
Duel it.
if you put dual tires on there, it makes it much more stable. It still tips over real easily, but not near as easily as it does with the A&K tires.
If you put those giant mud tires on it, it doesn't care.
I don't like those tires. I don't put them on.
I do. I like them. Another thing we both do differently is I put the highway transmission in it, you put the off-road.
Well, yeah, it's an off-road game, so I stick with the off-road transmission. And the highway transmission, if you get into deep mud or deep snow, it just dies. It just goes so slow, and so much of the game is off-road, and so I just see I think the off-road transmission is beneficial over the highway.
I like the highway transmission in the A&K because it makes the A&K faster.
Well, it does make it faster in some instances, not overall, because when you're off-road, it slows you down more.
Generally, just for off-roading in general, there's more or less two kind of philosophies. Generally, you're going to need both, but you're either going to dig or you're going to try to run over the mud as fast as you can so you don't get in it or get stuck in it. So basically, glide on it or hydroplane on it.
If you can float across the top of it, you make a lot faster progress than digging down into it.
That also depends on things like your weight, your tires, your basically how fast you're going, your power. If you have a lot of power, you're going to want to dig more than you're going to want to glide because it'll make your wheel spin anyway, so you're just going to end up digging anyway.
Well, yeah, if you put those big balloon Tega tires on there, you don't sink down near as much. It glides more across the top. So
that's also because your weight's more distributed, which is a very good thing.
Well, yeah, they float on. Those are flotation tires, so they float on top of the snow and the mud. Where the dual tires, the normal narrow dual tires, they dig.
Mm-hmm.
They dig down in. So.
But neither one's a bad thing, and more than likely you're going to want a mixture of both anyway, so.
True. That's true.
You're generally going to want a mixture of both, because having a mixture of both is very good.
Well, it gives you options.
Exactly. In the A&K, since the A&K can do both, you can lean one way or the other, and that helps a lot. One thing that's better for the Taiga is optimization. You can do a lot more with it. You can put a crane on it, you can put a fifth wheel plate on it, you can put that vibrator thing on it for time air. You only ever use it there, I think.
Yeah, you use that in Tamir, in a couple different places.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that thing.
Yeah, it's annoying.
It's tedious and boring. But yeah, as far as frame add-ons go, the Taiga wins hands down in that because the A&K can only have the sideboard bed that it comes with. It's limited to 2 slots of cargo, but if you need to get something there seriously, the A&K will do it.
Oh yeah.
You can't haul the oversized containers. Obviously, you can't haul those. You can't haul.
Well, you can't pack them on. You can haul them on there if you put them on there right, and are stupid enough to do it.
Okay, I've never tried that. So okay, but then like the drill rig that requires a 5-slot trailer, those things you can haul with the Taiga, but you cannot with the A&K.
No.
And you can't put a crane on it, obviously. So
even though in real life there are variants of the real life A&K, which is a model after one of the 80s military trucks does.
Well, yeah, I mean the military they reconfigure them however they want, but unfortunately in the game we're limited to just the 2-slot cargo bed and
it's a troop carrier.
Yeah, true.
Or whatever the heck they put in the back of a carrier. It's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. Well, in real life, it's classified, I think, as a 5-ton.
It's a 5-ton.
5-ton truck, and obviously, it will actually haul much more than that, but they limit it to 5 tons for off-road use.
Yeah.
It can haul, I think, 25 tons, actually, is the actual capacity of it, but they classify it as 5 tons for off-road.
And some people don't overhaul, too.
Well, they do anyway.
Well, yeah, they do.
They do anyway.
I mean, you could put anything in the back of the thing. If you can fit it in it, you're fine.
Pretty much, yeah.
What is it? I'm not going to look it up. I'm lazy.
Yeah, the Tega, you can put the low saddle. I think you can put both saddles on it.
You can
Can't
put
you?
both.
Low and high. I never use it, so I don't really know. And like you said, you can put the crane on it.
You can put the big one and the little one on it both.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I didn't know that. Yeah, that vibrator, you can put it on there. I always put it on the GMC and use the GMC.
Yeah, but by that point, you generally would have all-wheel drive because you would always go to the. If you're not playing on hard mode, he does at least. He would go to COVID, Lake COVID, that place, because you can get the all-wheel drive for there.
Yeah. In the normal mode, that's what I would do, is go get the all-wheel drive for the GMC. But in the hard mode, that's not really an option because you have to pay to travel there, and then you have to pay to travel back. So my hard mode game, I'm sticking with. I'm gonna do Michigan to 100% completion, and then I'll go to Alaska from there because that's the next section in the game. But
just go in the order, like basically the maps were originally released. So
yeah,
that's how he's doing it.
That's what I'm gonna do. But
in my videos, I'm stupid, and I was like, I want to go get the A and K, because why not? That was my explanation. I want to do something stupid. Let's go get the A and K.
Yeah,
it was fun and it worked.
Well, yeah, it works. I mean, once you get that truck, you can
do anything with it.
Yeah, you can do anything with it. You can't pull a trailer or a semi-trailer. You can't hook a semi-trailer to it, but you can hook a semi-trailer to the GMC or the White Western Star and tow it anywhere.
You won't want to do that, but
yeah, I don't do it with
Fleet Star.
Don't put a fifth wheel on the Fleet Star because it doesn't work for you. But then you have the A and K. You can use it as a tow truck to tow the other trucks to places. So.
Big thing is a lot of people say the A&K's too thirsty, drinks too much fuel. You don't need to upgrade the engine. It's fine with the engine that's in it.
Well, yeah, the engine that's in it is not near as thirsty as the upgrade engine, and it's less powerful, but really it doesn't care either way. It doesn't. It burns a lot of fuel, but it makes progress.
Pretty fast, too.
So burning through the fuel isn't that big of a deal because it does.
Because of how fast you go and how far you go.
Yeah, exactly. You get a lot for the fuel that you're burning.
Now, the Tiger likes to sit in the mud and dig. And it takes 5 hours to get anywhere in the thing, but thing of the game, so...
Yeah, you'll have to talk about the Tega because I never use it.
Yeah.
So that's all you.
I've used every truck in the game. I've tried every truck in the game at the very least just to see, because I like to see what trucks I like and which trucks I don't.
I've given pretty much all of them a test just to see how they work, but I always just, as far as the playthrough goes, I stick with the American trucks.
I've done Russian trucks, I've done the American trucks, I've done all of them, I've used all of them, and I like each one for different reasons. That Russian, it's not the 8.2, that Russian 5x5, that's a 4 crane. That thing can weirdly go off-road and not go off-road at the same time. If you dip the front of the thing anywhere, you're screwed.
Yeah, I've briefly used that truck. Very briefly. It does amazingly well for as low as the front end is on it. That's the issue, is that front bumper is so low. But didn't they put a active suspension for that in the latest upgrade to make it a little bit higher?
Well, I haven't looked.
I haven't got that far. I haven't even looked at the Phase 4 update at all yet. I
generally use American trucks too, but I will play with Russian trucks just so I know how they work at the very least, so I can at least make arguments for XYZ.
True. I've used the Kolobs a little bit when I've gotten frustrated with something else that flips over or doesn't have the power to do something. I've grabbed a Kolob just to rescue some things, and I don't even remember the numbers of them. The short nose Kolob, I'll call it that, because there's a short nose and a long nose, and I have no idea what their designation numbers are.
Flat face, long face.
There you go. Well, the short nose one I've used a little bit as a rescue truck, and it works amazingly well for that.
No, you can only put a fifth wheel plate on it. You don't put a high saddle on it, which is and it works.
Yeah, that's the only hitch you can put on either one of them is the high saddle.
Which is a lot nicer now that we have a high saddle 5-slot trailer.
Yeah, you talking about the off-road? The wide?
Yeah, that wide, heavy-duty one.
That trailer's excellent. I use it all the time.
I just use the normal semi one.
Well, that wide 5-slot trailer doesn't tip over.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can drag it over rocks, you can drag it around trees, and I hook it behind the Navistar 5000 and just haul freight amazingly fast with that wide 5-slot trailer.
Problem is with that big trailer, if you don't have something that's either A, heavy and powerful enough to do it, or just powerful enough to do it, you're not going to get anywhere.
True, that doesn't work good. I like the GMC. I've said it over and over again. It's my favorite truck. That wide 5-slot trailer is not good behind it because it's such a light truck.
Compared to the bigger, like the Colas and stuff.
Yeah, well, even compared to the Navistar 5000.
Yeah, then there's the American heavy-duty trucks, which are fun, like the 2 military ones that I can't think of the name of. I hate myself. It's one of them, the Dairy Longhorns, there we go.
Oh, yeah, those.
You can do those. We can use those, both.
Yeah, and you can get, once you get to Alaska, you get the older one you get for free. It's in the game. So, you use that quite a bit.
I love it.
Oh, I like it. It's ugly as can be, but it's a workhorse.
In real life, it should be more powerful. It's a lot more powerful in real life.
Yeah, it is terribly underpowered, but most of the trucks in the game are slightly underpowered or horribly underpowered.
Yeah, speaking of the White Western Star, it's kind of underpowered, but you'll get there just slowly.
Yeah. Once you upgrade the engine on that, it's not as bad as when you find it, but even with the stock engine on it, it's
fine.
It's slow, but it does everything you need to do with it.
I use it for logging, and I get there fine. I've used a Fleet Star with logging, and he's used a GMC for logging.
Yeah, I use a GMC with highway tires and the standard balance transmission in it to haul 3 loads of long logs, and I had absolutely no trouble with it whatsoever.
My computer doesn't want to charge. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
No.
Charging now?
That or sorry. Now there we go.
Okay.
I think we had it plugged in, didn't want to plug it or charge it. We're using my laptop.
Alright, yeah, we don't want the battery to go down.
No, so granted it would have lasted, but we don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
There we go, and my charger's kinda old. Because this is my original charger. A little bit of backstory on that. But, alright, so, let's see. Again with the ANK and the Taiga. Really? It really depends on what you want, because if you're going to be fast, you're going to end up using the ANK. You don't have a lot of options, but you're going to end up using it anyway. Because it's just fun and fast. But the fastest truck in the game, which is this is the funniest thing, is the Twin Steer, the Western Star Twin Steer.
Yeah, that's crazy. That truck is a monster. It's huge, it's heavy, and it's like a race truck. It's so fast. Even with the stock engine in it, it's just fast.
A lot of the other trucks should be like that.
Yeah, the game would be really a lot more fun if the trucks were all as fast as that White Western Star, or not White Western Star, but the Western Star Twin Steer.
That Twin Steer should be. If you put the highway transmission in it, it is very fun.
Yeah.
And I have, because I do everything. I try everything at the very least.
Well, and again, the Western Star Twin Steer has similar limitations to the ANK. It's you can't put a crane on it. It's limited to 4 slots. Now,
Unless you mod it, but
we're not talking mods. So, I don't. The mod trucks are all right. I tried to stay away from them. I use them a little bit, but
they're fun to mess around with. Is the best thing, but they can mess up your game, and yeah, they're annoying.
Yeah, they're kind of a pain, but the Western Star Twin Steer has the biggest drawback for it is that thing likes to flip over.
Especially at the lift kit and the bigger tires.
Yeah, when you put the 63-inch tires on it with the race suspension, it gets really tippy.
Yeah. It's fun though with it being fast.
Oh, it's extremely fun. I love playing with it, but when you tip it over, it's extremely hard to upright it.
Yeah.
Because it's so big and heavy.
It's big, it's long, it's heavy.
Yeah, it's hard
to annoying.
I mean, the A&K will flip it back over.
It's shorter. So
the Tattern 420 will flip it over. The other trucks kind of struggle trying to get it back upright because it's so big and heavy.
Mm-hmm. Generally, if you're flipping any other truck over, the A&K will do fine.
Well, yeah, the A&K is excellent for recovering flipped over trucks.
I did an all-terrain tire thing, which I've done that a while ago with Russia. I flipped the GMC over like 4 or 5 times going into one place.
Well, yeah, I don't doubt that.
I had to use the White Western Star and the A&K together to unflip it.
Oh, yeah.
It worked. I do the stupid stuff on my channel. He's gonna do more thought-out stuff.
Yeah, I like to plan ahead. I drive a real semi-truck for 12 hours a day. I come home and I unwind by playing the game, and I don't want to spend time recovering flipped over trucks. So I try not to flip them over in the first place because I get really frustrated at that point.
I'm an idiot. I play the game like an idiot because it's fun.
Well, I'm not saying it's not fun, but...
This was also before hard mode. I literally made my own hard mode.
Yeah, you did. What was it, phase 2 or phase 3? You did,
Imrata with all-terrain tires, and I wanted to murder the game.
Well, I know you did, but I don't remember what phase the game was at the point when you did that.
I think I did that before even the first phase even released.
Oh, really? Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, you did.
Michigan with all-terrain tires first. I never did Alaska, which is kind of funny.
Oh, you didn't do Alaska?
I've never done Alaska, which is really funny.
Oh, okay.
I've done Imrata, or... Lake Tadmere, whatever the heck that is.
Amandra.
That place.
Yeah,
I've done that place. I only got to the part where I did the plane. I was like, I'm done.
I don't blame you. I hate that map.
That was the whole thing. I did that one. I've done Russia. I've done Michigan. I'm doing a Scouts hauling thing in Michigan.
Yeah.
I play the game very strangely.
Yeah.
But this was also before hard mode came out. I was like, ooh, I'm going to make the game harder on myself because I'm weird.
Well, it makes you a better player at the game.
When you limit yourself.
When you limit yourself to the Scouts only or to all-terrain tires only, you have to play the game better. You have to rely on your skill, not rely on brute force and big tires.
And think creatively. That's one thing we're both really good at.
Yeah, you do. You have to think and plan ahead, and that makes the new hard mode that you have to plan ahead. If I'm going to bash on some of the other slow runner channels now. I'm not going to name names or anything, but all of the channels that are telling you sell the GMC, sell the International Cab Over, sell all the starter trucks and buy
AOZ.
And buy the bigger trucks. They're doing you a disservice. Because now that we have hard mode, you're pretty much limited to the basic starter trucks that you find in the maps, and you have to be able to do everything with those trucks. And if you've been selling them and going to the more powerful, bigger tire upgrade trucks, then you're not developing your skills. You're relying on equipment.
Good thing to learn how to do is learn how to winch. We know how to do it in real life, and it's very easy to do in the game.
It is. The winching on the game, they give you so many winch points. You can winch from the front of the truck, the sides of the truck, the back of the truck. If you've got a trailer on, you can winch from the sides of the trailer, from the back of the trailer.
This is not entirely unrealistic because, A, you can put a winch on a trailer. You can put a winch up pretty much anywhere on the truck as long as there's a frame point you can hook to and nothing in the way. So,
true, you can.
Anybody who says it's unrealistic, that's not true.
Well, and
we've talked about that before, but yeah.
We have, and you know, there's rings and hooks welded onto trucks and trailers that you can hook to and use them.
You just have to loop through your winch from wherever it is. You're more than likely only going to have one in real life, so.
Yeah. You're not going to have 10 winches on one truck, but
unless you're weird, and it's super expensive to do that, and if it's battery powered, you have to have really good batteries and really good wiring.
Yeah, now a tow truck can have about 4 different winches on it.
Yeah.
In different places, and they have side pole winches, and they have the boom winches, and they have winches mounted up high on the frame. But other than that, a typical truck's only going to have 1 winch on it.
And in real life, you're more likely to have a battery-powered winch and a hydraulic winch because those are expensive. Very, very expensive.
Well, actually, on the bigger trucks, most of them are hydraulic. PTO-driven winches. Scout trucks, like the pickup truck or the Scout 800, they're going to have an electric winch on them. Actually, you can get hydraulic winches for them, too.
Yeah, but you can put a PTO on any truck.
Yeah, you can. Actually, it's funny, the hydraulic winches you can put on your pickup truck are actually run off your power steering pump.
Yeah.
But some of them are run off a PTO, off the transmission. But the bigger trucks typically have a hydraulic powered winch.
It's very simple. Bigger trucks have more room in their engine bay. Little trucks do not.
Well, that's true, too.
You have more room to do anything in it.
That's true. The benefits of an electric winch, if you flip your truck over, it still works for a short period of time as long as you got battery power, but it sucks the battery power really quick.
This is true to real life.
And true to real life, yeah. And if you flip a big heavy truck in real life that has a hydraulic winch on it, you're dead in the water because the engine stalls and you can't
do anything. You're done.
You can't. Then you have to have a tow truck or recovery truck
or a hand crank.
Yeah, you're not going to use that for a
semi-truck. No, for a truck you could. For a pickup truck you could.
Yeah, you can, because I used to do that when I was poor. I used to have a hand winch, and I couldn't tell you how many times I've winched out a vehicle with a 40-foot long chain on a hand winch.
I have used them, and I hate them, but I've used them.
Oh, they're miserable, but
they work. They do work.
If you're into fitness, it's good because you get a heck of a workout recovering a vehicle with a hand winch.
They do work. They just suck.
Yeah.
It's nice. Oh, and if you don't wire if you're using a battery-powered one, if you don't wire right, it'll catch on fire. We've done that.
That's true too.
We've done that.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big fire. It just kind of caught the wire on fire, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it just melted the insulation off the wire. It didn't really cause a big fire, but
all I gotta do then is replace the wire.
It could have been interesting.
Yes, it could have, but we had fire extinguishers, so we would have been fine.
Yeah.
Now, this was a 2-battery setup. There's a battery for the engine, and we had a battery in the back of the truck that's underneath the thing on a little frame thing.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, a PTO is your hydraulic control.
Yeah, the PTO is a mechanical device that mounts onto the transmission, and it operates a hydraulic pump. It's actually an auxiliary gear that you mount on the side of the transmission, and you have a control inside the cab. You use one to engage the gear itself to the transmission, and then you use the other one to engage the pump.
And then you have a knob that controls your idle, which will help with the pumping of everything.
Yeah, your engine idle, you can
raise it, lower it.
Instead of having the engine idle at 600 RPM, you run it up to like 1100 or 1200 RPM, and it gives you more power for the winch.
Now, if you want an example of one, the S750 in the game literally has a PTO to the you look down, you look to the left. That's what a PTO looks like. It's fairly close.
It is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see. We had a Chevy dump truck at one point that had one on it, and it looks almost identical.
Yeah, it did exactly what I said. It had the auxiliary gearbox mounted to the side of the transmission, and from that it had a drive shaft going to the hydraulic pump. You push the clutch in and engage the gear, the drive gear. Then you have the other switch that engages the pump, and that raises the bed, and then you flip the lever for raising the bed. You just flip it the opposite direction, and it lets the bed back down.
Mm-hmm. And for the little crane in the game, that's what you would definitely have a PTO for and would be using it for.
Well,
the little crane.
The little crane and the big crane.
Yeah, because they both run off the same engine and same hydraulics.
Yeah, it uses the same PTO to run any of them.
Mm-hmm. But that's just how they're set up.
Yep.
Those mobile cranes in the game, they're underpowered. But everything is.
Well, everything in the game is underpowered.
That big mobile crane, you should be able to pick up a semi-truck like it's nothing.
Oh, yeah, that's a 100-ton crane. It should pick anything up.
You'd have to raise your idle a bit, but you could do it.
Yeah, it would pick a collab up off the ground if you didn't have it extended.
If it was just mounted to the ground, just on just a stationary crane, not on a truck, you'd do it. And it'd probably actually be better too, because you wouldn't have a truck flip over.
Well, yeah, true. That's true.
More likely going to flip a truck over with a bigger crane if you're going to try to move something like a collab. Which would be funny to see, but...
Yeah. But yeah, that crane should pick up anything in the game.
Mm-hmm. But
Really
that's... Even with the little crane, it should pick up it should have better ability to pick things up than it does.
I would agree with that, yeah. I think it should.
That's just the majority of the things in the game, though. They're weirdly underpowered.
In real life, the shorter the boom is, the more it picks up, and as you extend the boom out farther, your capacity decreases considerably, just because of leverage. I mean, that's a law of physics there, and it works like that, but I think it is a little bit underpowered, yeah.
And the winches, too. Honestly, the winches are kind of underpowered.
Yeah, they are. If you read the description in them, when you put them on there, I'll use the advanced heavy winch, for example. It says it'll basically pull any truck with any load, and it doesn't really do that.
In real life, it would.
It gets into instances where you get stuck on something and it won't move. You use the extended heavy winch, and
in real life, the extended heavy winch would probably break part of your truck or the trailer.
Yeah.
It would just run it off.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, those winches are extremely powerful.
Especially the hydraulic ones that are on, the P12, the P16, the P512.
Yeah,
rip the truck in half.
In real life, those winches are rated at 30,000 pounds. And yeah, they would pretty much rip a truck in half. I mean, they're really powerful. So the ones in the game should actually
either break your truck in half or pull your truck.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's instances it will flip you over.
Well, yeah.
But they definitely should make more progress than they do.
And in real life, with your actual winching, you can bury a fence post in the ground and hook up to that if you don't have a tree.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Which is why a lot of people will carry fence posts with them. If you're ever curious about that.
Yeah, you can do that, or, I mean, they make...
That's more just an emergency thing, though.
It is. They do make portable things that's like a boat anchor that you can actually drive into the ground, and you make your own winch point.
Really, you just need something to go into the ground with a little circle on top of it you can go up to.
A spade that goes into the ground with some kind of a attaching point to it, a welded ring or a chain link or something.
The biggest bitch is getting it out.
Well, yeah, once you get in. Well, once you get your vehicle out, you drive past it, and then you winch it out with your vehicle in the opposite direction.
Yeah, well, they're made to go into the ground. They're not made to go out.
Yeah, well, that's what I say. Once you get your vehicle out, you drive past it, and then you winch it out with your vehicle in the opposite direction, and they come out.
Generally, but if it's something cheap that's like $20, you could leave it on the ground, but you're more likely gonna want to cover it anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you're just using something improvised, you don't really care. But if you spend a lot of money on a anchor that you carry with you, you definitely want to retrieve it.
And if you're using a fence post, you can use a fence post remover to get it out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Which it's nothing you have to carry, but.
Yeah.
A fence post remover. The ones I'm thinking of are the ones that have little notches on them. Those fence posts, not those skinny little itty bitty electrical fence ones.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You're talking
you
about
do, other people don't though.
Like a T-post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've made a lot of fences.
Yeah, we've done that too. Yeah, if you need to do something like that, you really need to use 3 posts and tie them together so they.
You have 3 central points to hook onto and 3 central things that are being pulled.
Well, yeah, if you have to make a temporary anchor like that, you're going to put 1 post in the ground. You're going to put 3 posts in a straight line. You're going to attach to the closest one to your vehicle, and then you're going to tie the other 2 together to support the one you're winching from.
Mm-hmm. That's one way to do it. But if you have like a rope. Not rope, but a chain you can wrap around. You can make a triangle formation of it, and you can have them all hooked together. That's another way to do it. But the way he does it works perfectly fine and easier.
Yeah, well, I think it's stronger that way because you're just straight line pulling, and you're not pulling at an angle.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't do that in the game, so.
No, there's a lot of things you can do in real life that you can't do.
That's a real life thing, yeah.
This is coming from us doing really stupid stuff.
Yeah.
In real life.
We've done a lot of stupid things in real life.
Yeah, but yeah.
Well,
you have to figure things out.
Taking the real life experiences and applying it to the game is actually beneficial.
It is. Especially, like we said, if you know how to winch in real life, you can winch in the game like it's nothing.
Well, yeah, as long as you have a winch point, a solid winch point, those little trees that just yank out of the ground are useless, but
yeah.
I just auto winch until all those disappear until it gets to a solid point.
Mm-hmm. It works.
Sometimes you have to do that because
they're just annoying.
Yeah, you just want to get them out of the way.
Now, this is a console problem, not a computer problem. With the computers is you can attach, you use your mouse, if you're using a mouse, to just click on one of the points and then click on the other point.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot easier in the...
We use PlayStations.
Yeah, we use the PS4, so we don't have that advantage.
Mm-hmm.
We either do the auto winch, or you go into the menu and attach winch and then select your point on the truck or the trailer.
In some places it's fine. There's like a few good winch points, a few not good winch points. It's like, okay, I just gotta go over there. And then there's Imrado, and there's 20,000 of them, and all of them suck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Amandra. Speak after me. Amandra.
I'm gonna keep saying it the way I say it. Deal with it.
Amandra.
I've been saying it long enough. I'm not gonna say it any differently. Alright, well, let's see. The biggest thing now, a very big thing is why we have favorite trucks and why we use them. Now, he already said his is GMC and mine is the White Western Star, but this is one we both very, very much agree on, which is the F750. And why it's the best service truck in the game.
Oh, yeah, that has a large amount of fuel. It has a large amount of repair points, which that's a little bit contentious now in the hard mode because you have to pay for those repair points. But if you
once you buy the thing, you have them on there, but you have to refill them now. So
yeah, you have to pay to refill them. If you have a leaking fuel tank, repair that on whatever truck you got because you're losing precious fuel. Other things you can wait until you get someplace to repair it that that you don't have to pay for.
Unless you're spitting fire out of an engine like I did in Chevy.
Oh well, yeah, at that point you gotta
You have to stop.
You have to repair it, but
you use a lot of fuel. Your power runs out. You start to.
Well, yeah, you got to get the 75% damage on your engine before you have to do that.
Running full speed into a sign will do that.
Well, I'm sure it will. But
that'll do it in real life too.
Yeah,
which is very true.
Yeah, the 750 has those two advantages. The fuel is huge, and that thing is heavy enough with having all that equipment on it. It weighs. It's slow as can be, like the White Western Star.
That truck in real life is slow as hell.
Well, in real life, yeah, it's probably faster in the game than it is in real life. But
it probably is.
Even with the biggest engine, it's horribly underpowered. But in real life, that truck is horribly underpowered.
In real life, it has a V8 6.8 liter, I think.
Yeah, it has a 390 V8.
Gas engine.
Big gas engine, which would be the biggest engine in that model year. Now the newer versions of the 750 have diesel engines, but
they're semi trucks nowadays.
In that time frame, the biggest engine that truck had was a 390 cubic inch gas engine.
And it's a V8, not a V10.
Yeah,
it's really annoying.
Yeah, and
granted, in real life, a V10 would fit in it.
Oh yeah, I'd easily fit in it.
That engine would be huge.
Yeah. Hey, now that we're talking about the
this is something about that.
If
we get like 10,000 subscribers for both of our channels.
No, 100,000.
100,000, never mind.
If we get 100,000 subscribers,
we'll build a truck
with some patron subscribers.
Eventually, when either one of us starts that.
100,000 subscribers, we will build that truck in real life, and we will pick a patron member for an all-expense paid trip to come to Denver, Colorado, and make a video of them driving the F750 in real life.
And do not worry if you're 10 years old. I've been driving since I was like 8, or since I was 4.
Yeah, you have to bring a parent with you, but
yes, you have to bring your parental figure with you. But we can do that.
Yeah,
unless it's a stick shift, then.
Well, you can still drive a stick shift. It's not that big a deal. But
well, you just have to learn.
Yeah, that's the thing. 100,000 subscribers. We get some patron subscribers. We will build the F750 in real life in the purple and green paint scheme that's in the game.
I prefer red, but I don't care what color it is.
If we're gonna go big.
I don't care what color it is.
We'll do that. We'll put the roof rack on it. All-wheel drive.
That whole giant frame on it.
Yeah, oh yeah, it'll all be on there.
I don't know. If we're gonna go all the way, we should make it a double-wheeled back axle.
Well, yeah, for sure. It'll be 4-wheel drive.
That's for sure.
It'll have 4-wheel drive. It'll be a dual rear. Well, F750, they're all dual rear wheel. They never made a single rear wheel F750, so it'll be dual rear wheel.
Depending in real life, because some of them actually, the older ones that generally are, some of them are single ones, some of them are double.
No, they're all duals. Yeah, they're all duals. 750's all dual wheel. 4-wheel drive. It'll have locking differentials, front and rear. Actually, the rear will be a full-time.
Generally the rear for something like a semi, they're generally full-time, depending how old it is.
Yeah, it'll be a Detroit locker rear differential, and the front locker will be like an ARB air-powered locker, but
we'll probably actually put a V10 in it because it'd be funny, or diesel.
I'm thinking a twin turbocharged 7.3 diesel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That also depends what we can get our hands on too, because things happen.
We can get the diesel.
Probably.
I know we can.
Well, we can get a crate engine.
Well, yeah, we can get a crate engine, but we can get a crate engine and then put twin turbos on it. And
we're mechanically inclined enough to do it.
But yeah, 100,000 subscribers, we are going to build that truck.
That truck or the GMC?
Yeah, GMC's an option, but either one.
what we can get our hands on, too. This is the other thing, what truck we can get our hands on.
That's true, but 100,000 subscribers, we're building a truck.
I mean, we could make a frame, too, but that would take forever. I know how to weld pretty well, but it would take a while to make.
Yeah, man, we'll hire a shop to build it for us.
If we have to build it from scratch with a frame, and we could probably find a cab.
Well, yeah, trucks are out there. We can find the trucks. So. It's not going to have those ugly-ass 750 wheels on it, though. It's going to have some pretty shiny, polished aluminum wheels on it.
He doesn't like shiny. I mean, he likes shiny. He doesn't like not shiny. There we go. I said that wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going to build the truck.
If we do, we will build a truck. We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We built a truck before. We can do it again.
Oh, yeah.
We've done it once. We can do it again.
Yeah, well, I've done it multiple times. So.
Yes, he's done it more than I have, but yes. He's older.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the game. That truck's excellent recovery truck, and you said it before. It works amazingly well for hauling the medium log trailer full of logs,
which is very funny.
Yeah, that's hugely funny. But it'll any of the trailers that you can tow behind it. Obviously, you can't pull the semi trailers behind it. But
you could put that giant panel hook one that's 4 slots, which I've used.
Well, yeah, the ramp flatbed. You can pull that one behind it, and you can load it up with 2 steel planks or 2 concrete concrete slabs.
You can go up a hill, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, it pulls any of those trailers extremely well. And it makes an excellent recovery truck if you want.
It's a really damn good tow truck, too, because it's not very bad on gas. It goes pretty much anywhere, and it will pretty much pull anything.
True, yeah.
Which is hilariously surprising, but that truck in real life, 90% of those trucks in real life are grain trucks, and if you know the weight of a grain truck, yeah. They have a lot. They weigh a lot.
Yep, they do. We both love that truck. Unfortunately, in the hard mode, we can't go get it right away. Because generally, in a normal
play, you can go get the A and K at like level 2, and then use the A and K to go get it.
You can get the A and K at level 1.
Well, yeah.
I've done it, so...
I'm just saying generally level 2 because most people complete the tutorial part.
Oh, yeah, true. But yeah,
we can play the game on level 1 and get a lot of shit.
Oh, yeah, I've done a level 1 where I've got like 75% of the upgrades and had 0 XP.
You can get a lot farther with highway tires than you think.
Well, yeah, doing that, I used the Chevy pickup truck. I went to...
In the Scout 800?
No, I didn't. Didn't you use
the Scout 800 to basically pull fuel around with you?
No. I used just
you did
the
some
Chevy.
places.
On that one, I used just the Chevy, and I just drove around getting upgrades. All I did. I didn't go to the watchtowers. I didn't find any of the trucks. I got 0 XP. I wanted to see how far I could get with 0 XP, and I got like 75% of all the upgrades, and then I got the drown lands, and I forgot you can't go into some of the maps until you do the couple of missions there.
It's mostly in Russia.
You can't do a couple of the contracts in
Russia. Or
is it Drownlands or Quarry? Yeah.
Yeah, you can, because you have to go there, you have to do like that Geo one where you have to use that seismic vibrator, and then another one after that to go in there.
Yeah, and you have to rebuild that radio tower, station thing. So I forgot you had to do those, so then I gave up on that one. But I got 75% of just the upgrades in the game using the Chevy pickup as found at level 1.
Speaking of which, I use the S750 to do that radio tower one in Russia.
Oh yeah, pull them on the trailers.
I use that long 4-slot ramp bed to do it, and yeah, you can do it.
Oh yeah, yeah, that pulling a trailer behind that truck is excellent. It's its own recovery truck. You can put the autonomous winch on it, which is kind of weak, but that truck doesn't really flip over too bad anyway.
It's good enough high enough off the ground, but it has a lower center of gravity, so it pushes more on the ground, so you're fine when you lift it.
Yeah, yeah, that truck's not inherently tippy. It's bouncy, but it's not inherently tippy.
A lot better than the Scout 800, which tips every 5 seconds because it's
Oh.
bouncy as hell.
Yeah, I really don't like that truck. I don't use it a lot, but it makes a good recovery truck with the roof rack on it.
The roof rack, it's back roof rack.
Yeah, but the F-750 with its all the fuel, with all its repair points, it's its own recovery truck, and you can leave the garage with that truck fully equipped. You pick up a trailer, you can haul cargo all over the map, and you can just play the game for an hour with just that truck without having to stop at a fuel station or anything because it's got its own fuel on it.
I totally don't do that for the whole game with that truck.
Pardon?
I totally don't do that for the whole game with that truck.
Oh.
I like using it because I'm weird and I think, ooh, this will be stupid and fun.
Yeah.
And it's also a very good checkpoint truck if you're lazy and you don't want to use a fuel tank and a repair thing on a truck. And it's faster than most trucks with a fuel tank around it.
Well, yeah, that's true. It's got enough on it that you can take it and park it at a centralized location.
I would generally haul that little yellow service trailer that has both of them on it too anyway.
Yeah, well, that F-750's excellent for that. Then you're set for a long time. At that point, you can set
Depending
that
on
up.
what fuel you use and what truck you're using. Because if you're using one of the Russian trucks that use a lot of fuel, you're not going to get far.
Yeah.
You use a lot.
You do, but if you have that F-750 with the maintenance trailer and you park it in a location, you take whichever truck you're using. It's good if you have a truck with a crane and a flatbed, or a crane and a fifth wheel and a semi-trailer, that you can accomplish a lot of things, and you just get a lot of work done in one spot.
I have a heavy crane on a truck, so I have a heavy crane truck and a fifth wheel plate truck.
Yeah.
That's one thing about hard mode. It's better to use a fifth wheel plate.
Oh, for sure, yeah. You haul more cargo, you get a lot more stuff done. And
Except that 8-slot trailer. You can't turn.
yeah, the 8-slot trailer's a novelty thing.
It comes off of that scrapped oil rig stuff. That's that exact trailer.
Yeah, you can use it, but it has very limited use.
Yeah, you can use it in Alaska actually perfectly fine, because a lot of the roads are pretty straight. I used it with one of the older Dairy Longhorn, and it did fine.
Yeah, well,
I
yeah.
carried cargo containers with it, and it did fine.
The Dairy Longhorn is a good truck for pulling that trailer if you're going to use it, because it is a big, heavy truck, and it's underpowered, but it's powerful enough to do that.
If you upgrade the engine, you're fine. Then the more modern Dairy Longhorn, that thing turns a little bit too much sometimes.
Sometimes it does, yeah.
It's that back turning axle, which is a fine thing. It's on there specifically so it can turn more, which is a good thing, but sometimes you overestimate and turn too much.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to get around in tight spaces, but it can turn too much on it, and then you're oversteering, and then you're overcorrecting, and then you get all
messed up, and yeah,
and then you have to stop and
winch out, pray to God you're stuck on a tree.
Yeah.
Which is annoying because you can't cut down trees, because I guarantee you they'd probably have a chainsaw on there.
Oh, well, yeah, no doubt.
I guarantee that anybody would probably have a chainsaw on that, because...
Yeah, well, and in real life, that thing would bulldoze trees over.
Unless it's too big of a tree. Some of the smaller trees, it'd go right over like it was nothing. It wouldn't care.
Oh, yeah, some of the trees in the game that stop at dead... In real life, it wouldn't even slow down. It wouldn't even...
You'll dent your truck, but if you have a bumper on it, it'll dent the bumper.
Yeah, it probably won't even do that, but...
Depending how heavy the bumper is,
and
made and all that, but that's just normal.
But yeah, a lot of the trees in that game that stop you should just drive right over.
Oh, yeah. But that's just a game being a game. Then again, you can use the TOUZ 420 and hit some trees at full speed, and eventually they will knock down. Which is something I found out.
Yeah, that's true. That thing, yeah,
it's good and it's fun, but it's very funny what its original purpose is.
Yeah, it's not extremely useful in the game. You can't tow a trailer with it. You can't haul cargo with it. You can winch a trailer behind it.
Or a truck behind it.
Or a truck, yeah, pulling a trailer. Once I do get those, I use those exclusively for rescue trucks because those two will...
It pulls like it's nothing.
Yeah, it's overpowered. It'll recover basically anything in the game.
By the way, that thing was specifically designed for fishing villages. Get that through your head. That's what that one was designed for. Remote fishing villages in Siberia. That's what that was designed for.
Oh, yeah?
That's the funniest thing about it, because it has an actual tank engine in it.
Yeah, well, it's based
Granted,
on...
it's an armored APC.
Yeah, it's based on an armored APC, an armored personnel carrier. Real life, it would be amphibious. It would actually swim through the water.
It's about like it would, and it should.
Yeah, in the game it won't.
No, but
in real life, yeah, that thing's amphibious, and I have a pet peeve about that 420. Do not call it a tank. If you call it a tank, you're an idiot.
Tanks have treads.
I'm sorry,
and a gun on it.
I'm sorry, but it is not a tank. It is an armored personnel carrier. And when you call it a tank, you sound like a moron.
We know a lot about the military too, by the way.
So I don't mean to offend anybody, but yeah.
We know a lot about the military.
It is absolutely, positively not a tank. It is an APC.
And then, this is one quick thing. The Bradley fighting vehicle is an IFV, an infantry fighting vehicle. It has an autocannon on it with... Well, it's an autocannon. It's a 20mm autocannon.
Yeah, that has an autocannon, or you can actually put an anti-tank gun on that one as well, but it's still not a tank.
It's close to a tank, but it's not. And another thing that's close to a tank would be the Striker that we have, since we can put a 105mm cannon on it.
Well, yeah, but they're still not a tank. They're not heavily armored. It's still an APC, armored personnel carrier, because it's designed to haul like 10 troops or something like that.
And the Striker too, and the Striker with a giant cannon on is for troop support like a tank would be.
It is, but yeah, it's... But in the game, that 420, I love it. It's a excellent recovery vehicle. Once I've got that, I don't even worry about flipping stuff over, because if I do, I'll just go get that, straighten it back up, and be on the way. And then if you get into heavy mud...
That thing technically has one of the biggest engines in it.
Yeah, it does. It's got a high power to weight ratio, and it's heavy.
It has a tank engine in it. It don't give a crap.
It'll recover the biggest, heaviest trucks and loads in the game if you
have traction.
If you flip anything over, it will recover anything.
If you have traction, you're fine.
Yeah. Well, that thing is good for traction.
It's heavy too, so it's fine.
There's two places where that 420 is horrible.
Anything on ice.
It's horrible on ice and rocks. It high centers on rocks. And
ice, you just slide her all over the place, but that's any truck you don't have chains on.
Well, yeah, that's any truck you don't have chains on, but the rocks. It gets high centered on the rocks. If you don't know what high centering is, it's when basically you get the truck up on top of something, be it a rock, a log, something that lifts the tires off the ground, and it's just basically teetering on top of it.
Yeah, that can be very, very, very bad. That happens in real life just on highways.
Well, yeah.
That's more in the mountain highways that are weird than other highways, but that can still happen in real life.
Well, out here in the mountains where we live, rocks fall off the sides of them and get stuck in the middle of the road. So yeah, it's actually not unheard of for that to happen.
And also because people don't pay attention.
Yeah, true.
That's another big thing. People just don't pay attention to it.
Yeah, they don't, for sure.
A highway truck. In real life, you're not gonna have a lift kit with giant tires on it. So yeah.
No, I mean I've been driving semi trucks for 30 years, plus over 30 years, so it's probably longer than most of y'all been alive. Yeah,
an on-road highway truck, you're gonna have like a 43-inch tire at most.
Yeah, I think the truck I drive, I think the tires measure at 41 inches. So 41-inch tires, you know, you don't have a lift kit. And actually the new modern trucks have all this ground effect stuff on it. So they set like 4 inches off the ground.
Yeah.
And with all this stuff, they go great on the highway. They don't work off-road.
They're not designed to be.
No.
That's the biggest thing. They're just not designed to be.
They're not. I mean, they're designed to go down the road with good fuel economy, and they do that very well. They got big, powerful engines.
Yeah, but every semi-truck does.
Yeah.
Most semi-trucks do. I shouldn't say all do, because a lot of the other ones...
Yeah. Now, the Western Star Twin Steer, that is a real truck.
Yes.
It's made for oil field and construction work, so that truck...
At least that one's set up.
Yeah, it's got big tires like that. It's got big lift kits. It doesn't have a winch on it, or I mean a crane. They can put a winch on it. It doesn't have a crane. They do put what's called a boom on it. It's not exactly a crane, but it's like an A-frame that you tilt up, and you can use it to lift things with and lift things up onto the bed, but it's not technically a crane.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's a real truck that has big tires and have big lift kits and has all-wheel drive and all that. So that's a real truck.
And there was a video on the Snowrunner Reddit, and this is the last thing we're going to say because we're at an hour.
Yeah.
Or at least the last thing I'm going to say. There was a video on the Snowrunner Reddit that I don't know. If you don't know, it's just a Reddit thing on Snowrunner. But it was a twin steer with giant wide tires pulling, I think it was a P16 up a hill.
Oh, yeah, it would do it. In real life, it would do it.
Mm-hmm. And the P16 is terribly underpowered, even though it shouldn't be terribly underpowered, at least.
Yeah, that's hurt. Well, let's get off of here and save that for another day.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for listening.
He hasn't done anything yet, but he will.
Hope you weren't too bored. I am going to be starting a hard mode playthrough on YouTube channel. I have the channel set up. I haven't downloaded any videos yet, or I should say uploaded any videos yet, but I will be doing that soon. I'm going to start a brand new hard mode game. If you're struggling with that, I'm going to do a complete walkthrough, or complete drive-through, playthrough.
If you run out of money a lot, he's very good at helping you not do that.
Yeah, from start to finish, we're going to do more with less, and always be hauling. Always, yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, it's
always be hauling is their motto. It's always have something in the bed, and do more with less. Don't spend your money on stuff, and I'm going to show you how to do that.
And that's what we do in real life. That's what he does in real life, and that's what trucking business do in real life. But anyway, I'm probably going to be there just be commentating for like a few episodes so I can show him how to do it.
Yeah.
But that'll be all. This is probably going to go off my channel again. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, comment, share it, blah, blah, blah. You've heard me say it all the time. I may or may not put the end code on. I didn't put it on last time because I was lazy. Bye.
Adios.